Neonic Void Productions presents.
Hello and welcome to Spookocalypse. I am your host, Zio, and of course, if that's not your first week, I'm joined by Bunyip and Housekeeper.
Yo.
Oh, hi there.
He's like, "Oh, hi there."
Oh, we're so casual about this.
Yeah, right. It's a casual week, yo. This month of April is just gonna be casual. As I sit here eating a French fry.
Well, let me just take a hit then if we're gonna be casual about this shit.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be casual.
There's casual and then there's unprofessional.
Oh shit.
Hey, it's just a vape, man.
It's just
That's
a
not,
vape, bro.
that's not what I'm talking about.
It's just a vape, dude.
Housekeeper, take us away.
Hold on, you talk about unprofessionalism whenever we've like openly talked about like very adult content on this podcast. I think we blurred the line unprofessionalism here. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
I love it.
These fries are so good.
Bro, I had fries too for the first time in like a month. I was so happy.
These waffle fries, I could cry.
I want waffle fries. Okay, anyway, if you like this podcast, make sure you follow and rate us on whatever site you listen to your podcast. Share with your friends. New episodes get uploaded every Saturday or whenever they're remembered to get uploaded.
Oh my god. I feel called out.
That's not even part of the script. I just like saying that. Links are down in the description for other podcasts that are part of the Neonic family. Follow us on Twitter. Our handle is at Spookocalypse. That's at SPOOKOCALYPSE. Yes, I'm still going to call it Twitter. Don't at me. We also have a YouTube. If you're from YouTube, hi, hello, welcome. Make sure you drop a like, tickle or punch, or take it out on a date. Treat it well. Do anything to that bell. Drop a comment on whether or not what your favorite part of this movie was, or if there's a certain type of spooky subject that you want us to talk about, or if you just want to drop down and say hi. We don't bite. Oh, and if you are not already, if you take a look underneath the video at that little word that says subscribe on there, if you are not subscribed, it's going to continue lighting up until you press that button and you subscribe. So why don't you go off and do that? It's so cool. I love that thing so much. Like, I don't know if you've ever looked at it, but y'all go look at the video whenever someone says subscribe. That shit lights up. It's so cool. Anyway, we're gonna be doing some spooky shit. We're gonna be going on to this discussion, and these mints are gonna be on your pillow. Don't ask me how they got there.
By a flying bee demon.
It's like a calling card.
It's a calling card.
Like there's a nasty crime at the scene. It's like, oh, someone left a mint on the pillow. What flavor is it?
Oh my god. We're serial killers. The ment's flavor would be something from the early 2010s that screams 2010.
The strawberry cream stuff that they had.
Yes.
Well, I mean, those aren't really 2010s. Those are like early, like late 90s, early 2000s, but they still had them around in the 2010s, right?
Yeah.
They just weren't as big. The strawberry cream hard candies.
Yes.
I miss those bitches.
God.
Tell us your age without telling us your age.
God, this was 12 years ago, bro. I was beautiful. I was so young. I was 20.
Wow, you were a baby.
I was turning 20 in like a month. Well, at the time of this recording, I was turning 20 in like less than a month.
I was still in high school.
God, I was in college.
I was figuring out why community college felt like an extension of high school.
Right?
Because it is.
Me. Me.
College is a
Oh.
lie.
Yeah.
Unless it's a very specific major where you get to learn. Like, you get to pick what you actually get to learn.
God.
Oh, you're right.
So today we are going to be going back to the year of 2012. Remember when that was a thing? And we thought the world was ending in December 2021? Not 2021, December 21st, 2012. Gosh, those were the days.
Oh, was that the Aztec thing?
Yeah. You know,
Yeah, like the Mayan calendar, like, oh my God, it's going to
Yeah,
end. And
that
then
thing. I'm sorry. That sounded
the
so
Mayan calendar.
intuitive. The Mayan calendar. That's completely different from Aztec. I apologize immensely. I'm not as stupid as you think I am. I'm just really tired.
and all I remember is like, oh, it didn't snow today because it's the South and snow is rare.
The world didn't end that day. I felt cheated.
Oh no, the world did end. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because they turned on that collider and then weird shit started happening.
Oh, God.
Conspiracy theories. That's
I mean,
something spooky to talk about.
that should be an episode on its own.
All the fucking conspiracy theories. We'd be here for hours.
Horrific
fine with that.
conspiracy theories.
All of the fucking conspiracy theories.
Girl,
Just the ones that are really scary.
there are real fucking good ones that keep me up at night.
You right? Me too. Me too.
So, yes, today's movie. Today's movie was released at Sundance January 22nd, 2012, but then released to the public October 5th. Tell me why my nerd ass knew about this movie early 2012, and I was like, oh my God, gimme. Because yo homeboy, Zio, who was 19 or 20 when this movie came out, had a big old thing for found footage horror films. Like, that was my shit back then. I was like, oh, found horror, that is the top tier horror.
I mean, to be fair, that's also whenever Paranormal Activity was really, really
Yep.
huge.
Mhm.
And like the very first, like not the very first, but one of the most iconic found footage movies had come out in our childhood, which was the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, exactly.
So like that, which again, that's not the very first found footage film, but it's one that really changed a lot when it
Yeah.
came to the found footage genre.
Yes. I remember sitting in that theater in
Cloverfield.
2008. Oh, Cloverfield's another good one. In 2008, watching the free pre-screening of Paranormal Activity, the first one. Oh, it was so great. So we're talking about VHS. Now, I know we talked about several of those films already.
But this is the OG, son.
This is the OG one. We've talked about what? God, what was it? We talked
94,
about
or was it
99 and 85.
99, 85? Didn't we? We talked about another one too. The Ratma one.
That's
Rat-
94.
Rat was
Is it?
94.
I right now.
I am pulling up the our podcasting host. I'm gonna look. So we got 99, 85, and where are you? 94.
Oh, it is. You guys are right. It's fine. I'm good. Yeah, VHS 94.
What number episode is that?
I don't know. I just looked up Ratma VHS and they
Oh,
said it was on
81.
VHS 94.
Yeah, we talked about 94, 99, and 85. There's
Yeah, because
also
I was about to say, like, I was like, I remember 94 because that's my birth year. Okay. So
there's also a new one coming out that deals with they're going to make all their shorts around sci-fi. So I'm so excited for that one.
Oh, is that one going to come out in theater?
I don't know if it's going to come out in theaters or if it's going to be on
streaming and DVD release.
I think it's going to be on Shudder because Shudder's producing it too. So anyway, we're going back to the OG VHS. Like, this is old. And I feel old. I feel old watching it because you can tell that, like, oh, this is
It's
2012 horror.
aged.
It's aged for some of them, especially the beginning and the in betweens. It's really dated because
The
you can
dialogue.
oh, it's so. I would never have thought 2012 would be the oldies, the old days, but like, my God,
Or I bet you that's how our parents felt about the 80s.
stop. Or it's only been 12 years. It hasn't been 20. That's the 2000s. Ugh. 2004 is when I moved to Texas.
And
oh
then
my God.
we flash forward to 2032, and I was like, wow, do you remember the 2020s?
Oh
Ugh.
my God.
We had a rough start.
Oh,
2000. Oh yuck.
yeah.
2004 was the year that I moved to this city.
Yeah, that's when I moved to the city too. Yeah.
Yeah, but like you moved to Texas. I just moved 18 hours away from my hometown.
That's you might as well have left another state at that point.
I would have left 2 states by that point. What are you talking about?
Actually, I think we drove from Tennessee here to San Antonio, and honestly, you probably drove just either the same amount of time as we drove, or a little less. Cause I think it took like 20 hours or some shit to get over here. So you were that less behind us,
But
and you're in the same fucking state.
I wouldn't say 18 hours because that's how long it takes to get from here to Las Vegas.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So like that's 18 hours. So I would say it was probably like 12. Like it's about 12 hours to get
Ridiculous.
from El Paso to here.
Crazy. Couldn't be me.
I mean, they do say that like you could leave at sunrise and by sundown you would still be in Texas.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We're
So yeah,
fucking
VHS.
VHS.
The VHS. There's a shit ton of directors. We're not going to go over each and every one right now. We'll do it as we do the shorts. Like in every VHS episode we've done so far, we'll be breaking it up into segments. There's also the overall story. There's an in betweens on between the major ones too. So you all
Which
will get the full picture.
I think this is the only one that does that to where there's in between tapes that all connect.
No, one of the other ones had a ongoing story that was going in between the shorts. I think that's a reoccurring thing because we've done this. We've done that a couple times. I don't know.
No, because like there's not really a ongoing story. There was one where there was 2 videos that were connected, but there was not like the ones that we have reviewed have been just short film after short film after short film after short film, and none of them are connected.
No, not. I mean, the shorts aren't connected, but they're all encompassing in an overall story that's happening outside the tapes. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah, because that started here with the first one that's ongoing is the tape 56, quote unquote.
Mhm.
That's the overall story of the movie, while the tapes are all fit in between. If because somebody's watching it or it's on for whatever reason, but we're gonna break it out like we did with the other 3.
Okay.
But yeah. Instead of going over every single actor and stuff too, and written by and shit, we're not gonna worry about that. There's a lot of people working on this project, and this is an anthology series. We'll be here all night doing that. So to start off VHS, we start with tape 56 is the ongoing story outside the videotapes, like for like the in-betweens and shit. So housekeeper, start us off.
Cool. So tape 56 is directed by Adam Wingard. And it starts by showing a footage of kids. I'm just gonna call them kids.
Yeah, we don't have to go into detail exactly what they are doing because let me tell you,
Well,
girl,
they're children. I'm sorry, me being almost 30. They're children. And you know they're criminals. They're children,
Yeah.
but they're criminals. varying from like vandalism to
Assault.
assaulting women, which turns into basically essaying them,
Yeah.
making them expose themselves in different varies of undress and to try and sell them to like amateur porn sites. Disgusting.
Ugh.
Um but it quickly cuts to like footage from their most recent job. Someone hired them for a lot of money, and but they hired them to try and find a particular VHS tape, which, Lord, can you even find VHS tapes anymore? Like,
Even at that time, I would think it'd be hard to find VHS tapes because they were obsolete at that time too. 'Cause
what, in
DVD was the thing.
2004?
Not 2004. Oh, wait. Oh, this movie never mind. I was like, wait, we're in 2012. No, this movie is like 2000. This takes place like 2004. Never mind. Continue.
Yeah, I was about to say in 2004 there were still. I had
VHSs.
VHS, dude. I just got my own freaking like automatic VHS rewind machine.
Oh my god.
I could just put it in and it automatically. We just got that. Like, yeah, they were still around. Jesus Christ, I feel old. Anyway, so of course, not below breaking and entering. They've already essayed women. What's breaking into someone's fucking house? They accept without really much thought. They enter the house and they've actually discovered that the owner of the house has died. They find his body in an armchair, just staring at blank television screens. So, with him dead, they're like, "Yeah, this is great, easy peasy," and they go around looking for the tape. They find themselves with a new problem. In the basement, they found a huge collection of VHS tapes, and they don't really know what kind of content that the VHS tape has. And they could just bring the whole collection of tapes with them, but that would have been like over 100 tapes. For reference, these bitches get very heavy really quickly. So, Jesus, I'm so glad that I don't have that ringtone anymore, because I would have heard Mark be like, "You right at that moment." But that would have been great timing, because these bitches get heavy. You could have a regular sized box full of VHS tapes and it's a workout.
Yeah.
So they make a decision that someone will watch the tapes while others continue looking. Um, they figured that if someone's willing to hire thieves to find a tape, that it'd be kind of easy to identify what tape it was by them watching it. So they start the video that's already in the VCR. And then that's whenever things start to take a little bit of a turn. Because these are wedding videos that you would expect them to be.
Nope. So we get into the first tape they find, or that they playing, is called Amateur Night, and it's directed by David Bruckner. Now, also, some of these directors are very big directors nowadays, to be perfectly honest with you. David Bruckner, VHS, Siren. He was a writer on Siren. He also was a director he directed the Hellraiser movie back from 2022.
Sweet.
Like, some of these people from the old VHS series are big names. Like the previous person that Housekeeper talked about, Adam Wingard, directed the Godzilla films, the new ones, as well as other big films today. So, and of course, we'll see Ty West in the next one. So there's a lot of big names in here that started off in the VHS series. So this series is groundwork for the horror we have today, if you really think about it. Anyway, so we're watching.
Hire us for a movie. Hire us for a movie.
What?
Said VHS, hire us for a movie.
Yeah. So, Amateur Night. We start off a night with three friends in a motel. Patrick, Shane, and Clint are their names. These guys are like early 20s. They're the party, go get drunk types. You find out as they're preparing to hit the town, you realize that Clint is the nerdy guy of the group. He has a camera built into his glasses. And the whole tape is from that viewpoint of the glasses. I thought this was fucking cool. And I still think it's cool to this day on how this videotape was shot from the visual point of his glasses. Their plan the plan of the three, inspired by Shane, is to bring women back to their hotel room and have relations with them, and of course, videotape it
without their knowledge
and/or consent, and sell it to amateur porn sites. Gross.
I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, this is early. This is 2020, 2000. Oh my God, 2012 written all over it. Because this is back in the days, in my personal opinion, that sex and horror was like at its biggest, and it's like vulgar horror that's just, yeah, a little bit. Stuff like this pops up a lot.
The 80s and early 90s have some really vulgar horror movies.
I mean, true.
That are
but you
more
see this,
than the ones that we have now.
I mean, vulgar as in like disgusting people. As in the people are just no,
Trash.
Y'all are the worst kind. But
as we praise a serial killer that terrorizes a town.
That show now Mr. Myers is trying to get home. He's trying to get home.
He was already home.
He tries to get home, and then the gays moved in, and he's like, "Ew, who
No.
decorated this place?"
Well, the theme I meant was like how easy it was to record for this kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
it distributable to other people to watch. Like
yeah,
like yes, you had home videotapes and cameras in the 80s, but here in 2012, it's like, oh, there's also a lot of websites that will pay you for some of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm curious about is that they say, like, you say it's so easy, but like back in the day, they had the clunkiest fucking cameras.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, here, like, you have to like freaking get like now you have to have a special device whenever you check into an Airbnb, just in case they have hidden cameras everywhere.
Yes.
Like, how do you hide that big ass clunky camera back in the day?
I don't. Huh.
They didn't have a camera that fit in their pocket yet.
Yeah, they didn't. Not really.
Like, for real, now I'm thinking about it. Like, how did they do that?
Yeah, how they do it back then? But yeah, that's their goal for the night. And after making sure the glasses are all situated and it doesn't look suspicious at all, they hit up an Irish pub. From there, they meet several people, but Clint, the guy with the glasses, the nerdy guy, the guy during the whole thing is not really, he doesn't seem to be, in my personal opinion, he didn't seem to be on fully board with the plan compared to everyone else. He was kind of like, I guess. He didn't seem too into the idea of everything. He kind of just like, oh, these are the cool guys. They want me to go with them. Sure, I'll go with them. And be the guy with the camera because I'm the nerd. That's the vibe I got anyway. I don't know about y'all. Y'all get
He
the
also
same vibe?
didn't do too much to stop it, which is why
No, he
got
didn't. No, he's
punished
just
too.
as, I mean, he's just as bad because he didn't do anything to stop it. He went along with it. But you seem to be the one that's like, I don't know about all this, but he didn't do anything to stop it.
But you want to give him the he didn't mean it defense.
Oh no, I know. I'm giving him the didn't mean defense. He's still in the wrong, but he's in the wrong in a different way than compared to the other two. But he gets it. They all get their knuppets though. Okay, oh boy, do they!
Continue with the story.
So Clint is attracted to a girl that he gets the attention of. Her name is Lily, who keeps murmuring the words of "I like you," and she gets like wide-eyed. And while they're at the bar, Shane and Patrick are, of course, getting girls and whatnot. And trying to convince one to come with them, all that shit. But all while Lily is sitting in the corner with a drink and she's kind of looking around bug-eyed. Almost, because when I was first watching this, I was like, why is she looking like a predator looking for prey? That's suspicious. That's weird. And
women can't do anything.
huh?
Said man, women can't do anything.
Oh no, of course women could do that, but something was just weird about her. And the fact she's like, I like you.
It's the joke.
She was just like, I like you. I like you. I like you. Repeating it over and over again. And they managed to take Lily and one of the other girls that they were partying with, her name is Lisa, to come back to the motel. But they mixed in drugs and alcohol, and well, Lisa kind of passes out as soon as they arrive at in the motel, and they throw her on the bed and she's out. Shane. Yeah, this doesn't. Well, of course, this doesn't really stop Shane for doing what he brought her to do, or he tries to. And the two guys at least be like, "Yo, bro, no, that's not cool. She's out. She's passed out, bro. It's not cool." They kind of half-assed it. I was like, "Oh God, yeah, okay, great. This is not great, but okay." Patrick is on the couch laughing his ass off for the whole situation as he's trying to. Him and Clint are half-assedly trying to get Shane to stop. The awkward, quote unquote, Lily keeps her eyes on Clint during the whole time, and Shane still wants to make his video and has decided that Lily will be the actress. So he throws himself on Lily. Yeah, no, she didn't like that. Basically, at this point, Clint's like, I don't like this. And he goes in the bathroom because he's kind of freaking out as Shane decides to join, Patrick decides to join Shane with Lily. And he's in the bathroom kind of freaking out. He's like, I don't know what the fuck to do with this situation. And he starts hearing growling noises from the bathroom. And Patrick runs in. Yeah, Patrick runs in from there. He's like, "Oh my God, she bit me," and he's missing a chunk in his like on his wrist. She took a nice chunk out of him, and of course, they're both drunk. They're both drunk as hell. Yeah, they're both drunk as hell, and they're like not comprehending because Patrick's like, "Whoa, she bit me. She fucking bit me." And they both run out of the bathroom as oh God. I'm
pretty sure she starts slicing his neck open.
Yeah, she starts slicing Shane's neck open and then goes to
Then Patrick's all panicked and naked and like, what was that?
Yeah, they open the door and like Lily is on top of Shane and she like jumps up in the air and they flop over off the bed. And I'm like, that's okay. How'd they do that shot? So they fly. She flies off the bed with Shane and lands on the floor and she starts ripping him to shreds. And I was like, oh dear. Yeah, the power goes out. You see blood and guts, Shane screaming. Patrick and Clint are trying to find their way out, pin themselves into the bathroom. And Shane goes out there, sees the dead body. He's like, oh, he's dead. Ah. And Shane dies. Oh, not Shane dies. Patrick dies after Shane. Because Patrick tries to attack her because when they open the door and Shane's dead, you see her standing there with her arms like twisted awkwardly. And Patrick walks up to her and tries to hit her with something. But he dies. Clint makes a run for it. Runs down the stairs. Tries to run out of the motel. Lily does catch up to him. And Lily is covered in blood, and Clint kind of backs away from her as they like near a staircase as he's like in the fire escape. And she curls up underneath the staircase like she, because he's not interested in her. She's like, "Well, you're a fucking monster. What the fuck?" And she kind of backs away and she's just like, "I like you." And then at this point, you notice that her face at her forehead split open, and you see like teeth and shit. And Clint makes a run for it, limping away because he fell down the stairs because of Lily. He's limping away. He goes to the front desk. They won't let him in, which I'm like, that's rude. But if you see someone covered in blood, are you going to let them in? I mean, I guess I would be like, am I going to die though? I see no, or is it one of those things where you're like, I see nothing, I don't hear nothing. No, I see and hear nothing. Someone's dying. Oh well. So as he's trying to get away, the people in the front office of the motel will not let him in. So he runs off. He sees a trucker and I guess some other people with him, and he runs up to them trying to get some help. As he then flies in the air, and at this point, originally watching this, I was like, "What the fuck?" And he looks up, and he's still wearing his glasses, and you see the girl Lily is flapping her wings. They're like bat-like wings. And you realize, oh shit. And she has claws dug into his shoulders, lifting it up. I'm like, oh shit, she's a harpy. Oh boy. And the glasses fall off of Clint as they fall to the ground and then land on the ground. And that's where the footage ends. As Clint is being taken away, screaming into the night with Lily, aka the harpy or siren, taking him away to probably eat him. Honestly,
when I saw this scene, I thought she dropped him.
No, he dropped the glasses. The glasses fell off his face.
Oh no!
Yeah, because you can hear when the glasses are fall, you can still hear him screaming, and when it lands, you could faintly hear him screaming in the distance as Lily is still flapping her wings, taking him away to be devoured. You're to be assumed. He's not making it out of that alive. Now this short did get a spin-off movie called Siren that has the same actress that plays Lily. So that this short did get a spin-off. Anyway, that's the end of Amateur Night from David Bruckner.
To the main story, where you see two men in the basement searching for more tapes, and one is startled by a man-like figure. Having the feeling that someone else is in the basement, he is concerned and he doesn't want to be down there no more.
I wouldn't either.
Very understandable. I'd be like, I want to fucking leave. Like, I'm scared.
I don't want to fucking be here.
I'm scared. The second guy commands that like his friend calms down, and they carry the videos to their friend who starts a new tape.
Also, the first guy who was watching a tape is well, he's not there anymore for some reason.
Right? Gee, it's weird.
So now the second person's watching tapes, which leads us to Second Honeymoon, which is directed by Ty West.
Ty West.
Which, if you don't know Ty West, baby, when we did A24 month, he directed X and Pearl.
Ty West. I can't wait. When are you releasing the next one, Ty?
July 5th for Maxine.
Ugh, it needs to be sooner than July.
I know.
I'm impatient. I'm sorry.
The Second Honeymoon.
Yeah, so it's like a home video of someone's trip. Their names are Sam and Stephanie, and their trip is meant to be a second honeymoon. So hence the name. And they're at a Wild West theme park and looking around at some stores, and they see this mechanical fortune teller that resembles a prospector. So I'm gonna just assume that they're in Texas.
That's what I kind of assumed too.
Yeah, I don't think it specifies, but I'm like, where else are they going? Where else would you see this?
Yeah.
Wait, what? Yeah, you're right.
So then Sam's like, "Go ahead, try the fortune teller," and she gets the fortune, and she receives this prediction. It's like, "Soon she will be reunited with a loved one." Like, huh? How strange. And they laugh it off. They go to the motel room, and Sam has to answer this. I think it's when they were she's changing her clothes, and then he's like, "No, please take your sweater off." And then she's not comfortable. Like, "I don't want to be filmed. Like, I'll make out with you, but I don't want you to film it." And he's
Yeah.
being really pushy. And then there's a knock at their door. I'm like, "Who the heck's knocking at this time of night?" And then Sam answers the door. We don't really see him enter the door, but we see some girl wandering around the parking lot. So then Stephanie goes like, "Okay, Sam, could you explain to the camera what happened?" He's like, "Yeah, some lady knocked at our door and she asked if we could give her a ride the next day." And, well, I refused because it's an odd request. And wouldn't you ask that the next day while people are getting to their cars? So they kind of thought of it as like a weird one-off thing, and they don't contact the police about it because they don't see it as too much of an issue. So then they go to sleep. And then the camera comes on in the middle of the night. Like, oh, is Stephanie filming her husband Sam? And the camera pans over to Stephanie in her bed. Like, there's a third person in the room. Why is there a third person in the room? And then they like have this knife that they're using to caress Stephanie's leg. And then they go over to Sam's wallet and they take some money out of it. And they also take his toothbrush and swish around the toilet. And then that cuts out the whole video. So we come to the next day, it's like they're getting ready to leave, and then Sam is brushing his teeth with the same toothbrush.
Oh,
Like, it's a little gross. But yeah, they go to I'm not sure where it is. It kind of seems like a canyon or cliffside. But while they're driving, Sam's like, "Steph, did you take $100 out of my wallet?" She goes, "No, I have my own money. Why would I take anything from you?" And Sam doesn't believe her. And then it's like, "Wouldn't be the first time you treated yourself." So there's clearly conflict in this marriage.
that's rude.
But then they go and explore the cliffs. And let's see. Sam climbs at the cliff, and Steph's like, "I want you to be careful." And Sam's like laughing. And then he sees someone calling at an unusual place. He's slightly amused at this sight, and then because it was like there's no one there, and he sees someone calling from a distance, like more than 50 yards away. It seems like it's not a big deal, but think about it. I think I know who this person's referring to. But later that night, the camera's back on again, and it's the same intruder. And they're getting a really close look at Sam, and then they shove a knife in his neck. And that's a gruesome scene. You see him bleed and drown in his own blood. And it cuts to footage of like the side of the road while the car is driving. And then it's in the bathroom. And then Stephanie is making out with the person who just killed her husband. So, yeah, the murder was Stephanie's loved one. So the fortune came true after all. And I have to wonder, was this planned? Zia, was this planned?
Wait, what?
Jeez, you weren't paying attention. Like with Stephanie and her lover that kills Stephanie's husband, Sam.
Yes, I think so.
It kind of seems like it was. Like it was just being said to like, "Yeah, we're on our second honeymoon, but I don't really like my husband anyway. Could you take care of him for me?"
Yeah, most definitely. Those pesky lesbians.
It sounds like a weird sitcom.
All those lesbians.
The pesky lesbian.
Those pesky lesbians. Just slit the guy's throat in the dead of night like you do, you know?
And then Stephanie was like, "Did you erase the tape?" Which clearly no, because we're seeing it. But yeah, that's where that story ends.
And then it cuts back to the main story. Hello? Sorry. There's a man viewing tapes and he starts a new one. And the brief moment that we see him changing the tapes, um there's there's like a view from behind him, and you see that the dead owner is gone. Like he's not on the chair where you found him in the original scene. And then it goes on to the next story.
Okay, and I think I've got this one as well. This is Tuesday the
Yep.
17th, which is directed by Glenn McQuaid. All right, so we got a group of 20 years old. I cannot read. 20-year-olds. There's Joey, Spider, Samantha, and Wendy, and they're all going on a camping trip in the woods. And
Oh,
one of them's filming in the
Gl-
car.
Glenn McQuaid is also the person who directed I Sell the Dead.
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Oh, that's a callback.
That is a
I
callback.
still love that movie. It's so
It's
dumb.
so good. So stupid.
But anyway, yeah. Glenn McQuaid. Continue. I'm sorry, Bunyip.
Okay, so that's okay. It's fine to be nostalgic. But anyway, they're just driving and they're chatting in the car, and they're talking about some incident that happened in the forest that they're driving to. And at moments,
Yeah.
the image becomes distorted and shows things that aren't really there. But hey, they arrive at the lake, they change clothes, and they jump in the water. Or at least one of them does. I don't remember. I think it's Joey. Like one of them is holding the camera most of the time, or he's the quote unquote nerdy guy, and I think his name is Spider.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Joey jumps in the water and he's like, it's so freezing cold. Basically, it's young adults attempting to have fun.
Attempting is the key word here.
But Wendy also alludes that there's odd tragedies that happen here. And she's talking with Joey. He's like, you're all going to fucking die here.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm. And so Spider and Samantha wander off because Spider has a thing for Samantha, and for some reason she has to go behind a tree, presumably to do business. And then she's going to do like some routine. It looked like she was going to do some cheerleading routine, and then she just gets hit with a knife that was thrown from a distance. So Spider understandably freaks out, and he's running, but he's unable to escape, and he gets killed too. Like he gets knocked to the ground, just multiple stabs to the head. And
Yeah.
the camera footage gets a figure, but you can't really see anything because as it gets closer, the camera footage gets distorted and the audio messes up. So you have a silhouette, but you can't see a face. And shortly after, Wendy is able to grab the camera, and then she meets up with Joey. And then she talks to Joey and explains like, "Oh yeah, this serial killer, this strange man murdered people, and we're all gonna be next. That's why I brought you all here as bait." And Joey's like, "What are you
Oh,
talking about?" And then in the distance, this silhouetted man just slowly approaches and kills Joey.
yeah.
And Wendy was like, the last time she was here, her friends were killed by this person
Yeah.
or creature. And then she had brought the other three here to pretty much draw him out again and was going to trap him and kill him. And she sets off a few traps which seem to kill him, but don't really stick. And finally, I think she gets really close to the killer. Like, yeah, I got you. And then he just stabs her. And then she's on the ground. And most of the footage is distorted because now the killer's got the camera and he's ripping out her entrails.
Mm-hmm. Dead.
Yep. And this is an odd line. The obscure creature continues with eviscerating her body in order to inhabit it. As
Oh
in like
yeah.
wear it as like a skin suit.
Yeah. Guess so.
I didn't put that together. I just thought it was like, I'm gonna rip out your insides and then no one will ever find you.
It kind of looked like it was trying to burrow its way in. Like, gross.
But yeah, that ends that story, and we move on to the next tape 56 segment.
The main story. The body of the man is back, but when the two criminals come back to the living room with more tapes, their friend is gone. Thinking that he may have wandered off, the leader of the group orders his friend to just continue watching the tapes.
Because they're real determined to get this tape.
Hey man, they got hired to do a job. They're gonna fucking do it.
Yeah. And this tape that this guy puts in is called The Sick Thing That Happened to Emily When She Was Young. That's a mouthful. Directed by Joe Swanberg. The footage of this tape that this person's watching was made entirely with a webcam. So it's over Skype, pretty much. Emily is talking to her soon-to-be doctor boyfriend named James over a video chat. She talks to him about how she's worried about these strange bumps, strange bump on her arm, and wants his professional advice, being a doctor in training, basically. And she tells him how it reminds her of that something strange that happened to her in her childhood. She can't quite remember the details. James tells her it's probably nothing, and he basically he's just there for her. He's like, yeah, it's probably nothing. It's no big deal. Promptly, she then mentions that there is something wrong with the house. Her belief is that the house is in fact haunted, and James isn't impressed and tells her that it's likely nothing. Although she agrees that he might be right, she insists on talking to the landlord and try to figure out what's to do with his house. Later on, one fateful night starts. She calls up James as something is, of course, happening in her apartment now. Because she's like, I'll call you next time some shit happens. So some shit is happening, so she calls him. Using him as her eyes, she wanders through the apartment with the webcam. So, like, with the computer facing forward, James sees the glimpse of a strange creature, but isn't sure. You kind of see the outline of whatever this thing is in the darkness. Becomes clear that the house might be indeed haunted as they start to see a little child running around the house. And you're like, what? Because what happened with that is they ran back into her room, and then this child comes into her room and slams the door. And I'm like, that's rude. Who raised you? That was rude. So Emily later asks her landlord. Oh shit! Lost my space.
I think she was talking to her boyfriend. Was like, "Hey, look how deep I've gotten into cutting out this bump." And he's like, "Whoa, no, don't do that."
Oh, we're way ahead of that. Back up a little bit. So Emily later talks to her landlord about the previous owners of the apartment. None of them had children. And then that's where she gets into the bump on her arm has become worsened. And she gets, I was like, she chose James and she's dug into her arm with a scalpel. It's gross. She's like, it's really in there. And she's like wiggling it in like she's a goddamn what's that game called where you're putting pieces with little tweezers, pulling pieces out of a plastic
Operation.
Clown.
Yeah,
it's like she's in operation with herself because she's like wiggling. She's really digging in there, and I'm like, this is fucking gross. I don't need this in my life. And I'm like, that's disgusting. Get some help,
She
girl.
even gets like a big two-pronged fork. Like, I think I can get
Yeah.
even deeper with this. The doctor's like, no, no,
James is
please
like,
stop.
no, stop. I'm like, girl, does that not hurt? Apparently not. He tells her that she needs to stop cutting the bump and the risk of infection and promises her that he will come soon and examine the bump. Like, my God, chill, girl. Fuck. Later that night, she is visited once again by the little child. But as she tries to make contact with it, something knocks her out. Moments later, the door opens and her boyfriend James is there inside. He argues with some aliens while removing a alien fetus,
At first, I thought it was like a kidney, like, "Oh, I'm just here to,
right?
sell your organs on the black market." And it's like, "No."
Right?
He's like, "It's just a human alien hybrid. Are you sure
Uh-huh.
about this? Like, how long do I have to do this?"
Uh-huh. And yeah, exactly. He asked how much longer they have to use her as an incubator for an alien human hybrid, explaining what happened to Emily in the past and his involvement in it. He worries about the infection caused by the tracker in her arm, which is the bump she was trying to cut out. And he believes obviously it's harmful. The aliens have wiped her memory clean, but James feels feels the need to cover tracks even more and proceed in breaking her arm. Later on, a later chat session is revealed that she believes that her injuries were caused by a traffic accident because it shows her again just standing with a broken arm and like she's bandaged up. And she's like, yeah, I got into a traffic accident caused by to be in a traffic accident in a fatigue state. True Tearfully, she confesses that she is diagnosed with schizophrenia disorder, which should explain the visions. Heartbroken, Emily asks James to find a more normal girl to be his girlfriend, to which he responds by telling her he will always love her. As he closes the chat, he opens a new conversation with another girl who seems to have a strange bump on her arm. I, back in the day, watching this, I was like, oh, damn, that's good. That was good. That was good. That was good. I see what they did there. Yeah, I'm here for it. He has multiple girls being these incubators for these aliens. It's fucking insane. I would love to see a spin-off movie of this, personally. That would have been a fun one. And that is the end of that what's called the sick thing that happened to Emily when she was younger. And then we go back to tape 56.
To when the leader returns to the room to find himself alone. The chair is empty. No one seems to be watching the video, and he's completely alone.
Bum, bum, bum.
He's kind of freaked out by the fact that his second friend has disappeared, and he starts looking for them. His search leads him upstairs, where he does find something pretty surprising. He finds all his friends. Yay! But they're all decapitated.
Yay. I mean, not yay.
Yay! I mean,
Uh-oh.
uh-oh.
You're in danger, girl.
Almost immediately after finding the body, he is attacked by the old man who owns the house. But he has changed. He has become a zombie.
Oh.
And ter- just reading the summary though, it's not scary, but like
No, it's
watching
not.
it, you're like, oh shit. Oh shit.
Yeah.
He gets scared, obviously, and he runs downstairs. But while he's running, excuse me, he falls and is killed by the creature that lurked in the basement.
Bum, bum, bum.
And his second in command saw a glimpse of earlier in the movie because his death is taped. on the VCR, a new tape is played all by itself.
Just for us.
And this one is called 10/31/1998 and is directed by Radio Silence. As suggested by the name of the tape, this tape was made on Halloween of 1998. Four friends are getting themselves ready for a Halloween party. They're all dressed up. Chad is the Unabomber. Matt is a pirate. Tyler is a teddy bear with a nanny cam in it. And Paul is dressed as a Marine.
Not the Unabomber.
I love that. That's
Yo.
that's his costume of choice.
Like, he's like, you know what I'm going to be for Halloween? The Unabomber.
Oh my god. Get some
But
help.
it's only whenever they're driving.
Yeah.
It's only when they're driving. I mean, that was what the pop culture was back in the day, was the Unabomber. I mean, think
Yeah.
about what people have dressed up in the past few years and what the pop culture was,
Yeah.
you know. But as they start driving, they realize that they're not really sure of the address. They drive to the house that they believe is to be the right one, and they kind of sneak inside. The house is empty and it looks very nice. Like, it's a nice house, and they believe that they've arrived early. As they look around the room, they experience some strange things happening, like a doll that changes position. They believe it to be like a prank and they laugh at it. Now they're like, oh, okay, this is the place. Like, they're just, it's Halloween, they're trying to be spooky. And they go up to the attic. As they enter the attic, they find themselves witness to a strange ritual. See, I love cults, man.
Cults, yeah.
I never want to join one, and they are very bad, but I love witnessing them on movies. They're so ugh. I don't know why. A woman
It's
is
always a cult.
right, and the rituals. I mean, to be fair, one of my favorite, off course for a second. One of my favorite D&D campaigns is the Curse of Strahd.
Of course it is.
Well, one, it's
Yeah.
vampires, and two,
Yeah.
there's like a cult on his
Yeah.
land. It's a great setting. It's amazing. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Anyway, um, during this ritual, there's a woman that's chained, spread eagle position, circled by men chanting the words "cast you down." Assuming that this is also a Halloween prank, they join in. Once the men are aware of their presence, though, they react like violently. They start attacking them, and it becomes very clear that it's not a joke, and they are really doing a ritual. One of the men uh assaults the woman physically, as paranormal activity starts to take a hold of the house. And it turns out, oh, it's an exorcism. The boys try to flee at first, but then they change their mind, as they thought for a second that they should probably free the girl that's chained up. The men try to stop them, but something like unearthly kills them. Hands grow from the walls and the floors are trying to stop them. Man, it's like freaking monster house up in here. Windows start disappearing. Oh, now it's Skinamarink. Windows start windows start to disappear, and the house tries to stop these four boys from escaping. Actually, you want to know what it's giving?
What?
The murder house.
Oh my god.
It's giving the murder house, which is in Curse of Strahd. eventually eventually they manage to get out via the basement. Ironic. And once outside, they flee to their car. They run into their car with the girl, and they drive off. As the boys try to comprehend what the fuck just happened, the car just stops. It refuses to start. And at this point, they figure out that the girl that they rescued is gone. She appears in front of their car and screams. She then turns into a flock of birds, revealing to them how stupid it was to save her. The house wasn't the thing that was haunted, it was her. There's a sound, the sound of a train brings them back to reality as they realize that the car has broken down on a set of train tracks. They desperately try and get out of the car, and they are unable to. The camera goes black right before the freight train rams into the car and kills them. The ending credits consists more of the exploits of the criminals from the main story of tape 56.
And that's it. That is the end of VHS, the original. What were your thoughts on this?
All right, so I thought it was a pretty decent start to the VHS series.
Agreed.
Oh yeah.
There's some good ones.
I do like the other movies a little better, but I definitely did enjoy Amateur Night and Tuesday the 17th.
Yeah, those are my favorites too.
There's also a lot of boobies in this
Yep, boobs.
and possibly sexual exploitation.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Like in Amateur Night, it's like, oh, we're gonna take advantage of these women and film them without their knowledge. And then the harpy lady's like, well, what if I take advantage of you? I was like, oh, they're getting their comeuppance and they fucking deserve it.
Yeah, they sure do. I mean, yeah, my same thoughts. It was a good start of the franchise. It's what began it. I remember watching this on Netflix back in 2012, back when Netflix was young and there was actually a lot of shit on Netflix because Netflix was the only streaming service out there.
And the
Those
fee
were the
was
days.
reasonable and they weren't
I
stingy about
know.
password sharing.
They weren't
Actually,
encouraging it.
one of their first tweets was just like, "Yeah, share your password." Like, what the? Like, we don't care. It's amazing. Sharing is caring. That was the attitude.
Oh, those were the days.
And now they're all like, "Give me my money."
They're
Yeah.
like, that's socialist. We're gonna be a little more strict with the password thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. I had to get my own Netflix and my own streaming accounts. And now we're going to have to do the same thing with Max at some point because Max is going to do it now. The only ones that are not doing it as of right now are Paramount and Peacock.
I get Max through Spectrum, so
Yeah.
we just sign in with our Spectrum account.
Yeah. Streaming. How have you fallen? But yet we're all stuck to you like glue.
I mean, that's how cable started too.
Yeah.
Cable started off as like, oh, here's an ad-free service. You could just watch your shows continuously. And then it turned into nothing but
Yeah.
commercials. And then stream services are like, oh, here's an ad-free experience. This is what you have to pay for. And now
Yeah.
there's ads and it's more expensive.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, rating systems. 1 out of 5 VHSs. What would y'all rate this movie?
I'm going to go with a 4.
A 4?
Yeah. So I remember when I first watched this movie, there was probably like 3 VHS movies out by then.
Yeah.
And I thought it was like, this is whenever I was really getting into horror films. This was like after my stepdad introduced me to the Resident Evil movies, which now I think are trash. Sorry, not sorry. And like he had like the movie Zombie, all of the zombie, like anything that has of the dead of it, he had. And we had streaming services, and I found VHS, and I was like, I've never heard of this. I'm gonna watch it. And by the end of it, I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? And
Yeah.
where can I find more of it? Like, is there more? I hope that there's more. So, like, some people find a movie in the middle of the franchise and fall in love with it and start it over, but I found this one and and I look forward to every movie that has come out since then. And will I watch every single one of them again? Yes.
I mean, that's what we're gonna do.
I enjoy them. I enjoy them a lot.
Yeah.
Are they perfect? No.
No.
That's the only reason why I'm giving them a 4. But to be fair, a lot of these short films on these movies are like directors starting their career, or like they're a little bit into their career, they wanted to do some experiments, things like that, right? And it's a learning experience, but I still love the movies, and I will continue to watch them over and over again. So with that, I give it a 4.
I will give my rating a 3.5. It's good. It has some good ones. It's a product of its time for sure, but it's a classic. It started the whole shindig. I like some of the later installments a lot more than the original, but the original is still pretty good. And I would say even with the third one, Viral being technically not the best, this one has the, I mean, that's why I would say this one has the lowest score for me when it comes to the franchise. When it comes to the franchise as a whole, a 3.5, because everything else revolves. Well, no, maybe 3, and nothing lower than a 3 for this franchise for me. Like with all of them, and we'll go over 2 and Viral as well, at some point in the future. But yeah, no, 3.5 for the original because it's a good, solid, and start to the anthology, and it has its charm. It's good. Some of the shorts in there are really good. So we got 4 and a 3.5. But yep.
I'm going to go with 3.5 as well. And that 0.5 was like the tape that wasn't rewound.
Yeah.
Or there was
How
something
rude.
odd. Or like the tape's been pulled out and you're like, no, you're trying to put it back in, but then your fingerprints get all over it and it messes it up.
Right.
So yeah, I did enjoy it. I still have great memories of 94, the first one I got to see. And I loved 85. 99 is appreciated. This one I think is okay. I wasn't able to find a lot of theming or symbolism with this one, but I don't hold that against the film.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to hide symbolism into your stuff. It can just be a fun film. But yeah, based on what I thought of the movie and how I felt watching it, I'd stick with 3.5.
So the average is
3.6.
3.6 out of 5 VHS tapes. Go watch it. It is on currently Tubi at the time of this recording. Hopefully it's still there. Or Sling. But yeah, that's today's episode on the original first VHS from 2012. Catch us next time as we decide to talk about a little man that has an obsession with gold. Until then, bye.
Goodbye.